new friend.
Friends.
Friend slash um and you had managed to craft a certain exit tunnel into a arcane library. Um and now you're faced with a very large mechanical scorpion looking down at you from this entryway.
It's a thing with a thing.
Roll initiative, please.
Yay. It's our favorite thing to do. Oh. Sheet.
God, I think I could hear the echo of Tucker's coughs from Chris's mic.
Yep.
Are you okay? Do you want to stop and get some tea or something? Or water?
You're muted. We can't hear you.
Okay, he has water. Okay.
Yeah. One lung now, but I got water.
For a reason we all need to be in the same place. I can just make tea. Like, here.
Okay, is that everybody's initiative? Looks like it.
Except Terry's.
Yeah. Okay. Wow, everyone's initiative scores are great this morning.
Yep.
Storm's still
This is how it's
crushing
gonna
it.
go.
Yeah,
This is
Chris's
how
is
it's
okay.
Yeah, carry the team.
So Storm,
Gonna
you're
have to
looking
follow
at
this
this. It doesn't really seem to have eyes. It does have these two claws and this like burning barrel of a mouth. It looks actually a lot like that.
Convenient. So cute.
And it's staring down at you from above you.
Awesome.
How big is this thing?
The size of a little bit bigger than the size of a draft horse.
And it's made of metal, you say?
Yeah.
Excellent.
Tucker, you're muted.
Grabbing a drink while I wait for my turn.
Is it big enough to get down Daco's hole?
No.
That's what she said.
Hey,
you.
Terry's here.
Yay, Terry made it.
Terry, I need you to roll initiative when you get a chance.
So are we saying Bill was like with us this whole
Yeah.
time?
He was in the back.
Okay.
He came running in when the kobolds ran away.
Okay, there we go.
So we're still not on the other side of that hole, though, right?
Yeah, you're.
No.
So it's just staring down through the hole at us.
Yeah.
All right. I don't know if this is going to work. I'm just going to dissonant whispers it, see if that works.
Okay.
What are you whispering?
Can you read Dissonant Whispers to me real quick?
What's that?
Can you read Dissonant Whispers to me real quick?
You whisper a discordant melody that only one creature of your choice within range can hear, racking it with terrible pain. The target must make a wisdom saving throw.
Okay, does it say anything about it being charmed or anything?
No.
Okay.
It's just like if a deafened creature automatically succeeds a save, so they just have to hear it.
Okay. It fails. So it takes how much psychic damage?
It's going to take 3d6.
Well, yeah. Okay.
For
So-
9.
Okay, so it takes 4 points of psychic damage, and then it backs up at speed, right?
Yep.
Okay, so
Uses its reaction to leave.
okay, it kind of disappears from the hole a bit.
And then I'm just going to be like, if you want to do something, you should decide now while it's running away. And then I'm just going to move back further, away from the hole.
Mm-hmm.
Storm is the one who's going to end up surviving everything, and the rest of us are just.
I'm still trying to figure out how Dako's still alive, personally, but
Okay, and then Bill. So, Terry, you will actually normally go in front of Storm, but with an 18 initiative, you'll get to go before the Scorpion this turn. There's a giant mechanical. You're in a sewer. There's a giant mechanical scorpion staring down at you from your only entrance in. It can't get into the sewer, but it's blocking your path up. Although Storm had just used Dissonant Whispers to make it back up.
Okay, and if we agreed to fight it, or are we going to do something different to it? Because I don't want to run into it when nobody else can be fighting.
I think the agreement was to fight it.
yeah, we made an
We gotta
arrangement.
get in.
We made an arrangement with our new friends to, help with this thing so that it can also access the libraries more openly.
Okay, and I'm far enough away from it I can run to it and attack it.
You would have been if it had stayed where it was, but because of it would require double your movement to get up there and to it. You could probably wait for it to approach back, though.
Okay, well, if there's enough room on the side, I'd like to get as close as I could to it without it being able to somewhat attack me if I've seen any reach out.
Well,
Just so
you're
I can
kind
try
of
to flank it out of time.
you had crafted kind of a well to get into the library, so you'll have to climb up. But yeah, you could get to the edge of the well and wait for it to approach back.
Also, the ground is covered in water. Probably what was it, 3 feet, 4 feet?
3 feet. So
Okay, well, I'm trying to wait for it, I guess, instead of attacking. If I need to climb, I can climb up high enough for it so they won't be able to reach me when he comes back, and I can maybe jump on it or jump behind it.
okay, yeah, you'll use your movement to actually climb up, and it's skittering in the water. So when it pops back out of the water to do whatever it's gonna do, you still have your reaction. I'll say you're raiding for it to approach to attack it. So because it's now its turn. So yeah, it moves back towards the well, which triggers your reaction. Do you want to try to jump on top of it?
Yes.
Okay, give me an athletics check, please.
Man, I wish I could help.
I just think it's fun that Terry's the first one attacking something.
All right. New year, new us.
I've never seen this ever on a Saturday morning.
Okay, you tie. Ties go to the attacker. So yeah, you jump on top of it.
I don't know, there was that one time that Full Moon rode the Gorgon. This is kind of similar.
But did he start that conflict?
Once every year. You can do it. Once every year.
Once a year.
Okay, so you
I
jump on.
to hold on.
Okay, you're just holding on.
Well, if I can hold on and attack it, I'll attack it. But if I just can hold on to it and wait till the next turn, I'll wait till next turn.
You can make one attack. Your grapple was your first attack. Your second attack will be. You can.
Fine.
The hard metal shell just it's hard to get a good weak point, but you're still holding on to it.
Yeah.
Um.
And I'll yell out to everyone, "I got it! Attack when you can."
Okay. It is. So it's not really thrashing right now, and you had tried to shake you off, but it's not. It's really not worried about it right now. It doesn't seem to have a huge amount of survival instinct. Instead, it takes its 2 claws, sticks them down the hole, and you see this gout of kind of greenish purplish flame just burst down into the sewer. I need everyone but Bill to make a dexterity saving throw.
When you said gout, I was picturing something else completely for a second.
Can it be a roll that's not dexterity?
No.
This isn't a spell, right?
Nope.
Oh, ouch. No.
Okay, so Dako and Storm, you will be taking half of this. Whistler and Zashi, you will be taking the full brunt.
What about me?
Brutus, you'll be taking half of it. Zashi, what is? Oh, it doesn't really matter. But you have your aura, right, Zashi?
Let me double check. I think I get that at 6th level. I don't think I have it yet.
Okay.
This is going to be bad.
It's not that bad.
Is this considered an attack that we can react to if we have reactions that react to attacks or taking damage?
This is damage. You can react to the taking of damage.
Yes. Well, yeah. Okay. It says damage me, not attack me. Cool. Even better.
That was a very
Ouch.
huge
It's not that
roll.
bad.
How much of the sewer did he take down with him? Good God.
So Whistler and Zashi take 30 points of fire damage. Everyone else takes 15.
Oh,
Oh man.
God, why you do this?
I don't know. I've never rolled 66 that well.
Sure. GM cheats.
I was just gonna say, he just forgot to take the cheats off from last year.
I'm planning on reacting to this, by the way, Scott.
Okay, what's your reaction there, Daco?
I am going to do this thing. Let's see, where do I have to click on now? This. We're gonna do this at level 2. No, it didn't give you the whole description.
Yeah, I don't know what that does.
Yeah, it didn't give the whole description. I have to, whatever, when they reorganize the small things, it turned that off, I guess. You react quickly, firing a slab of earth at the creature that damaged you. The creature must make a dex saving throw, or it takes 2d10 bludgeoning damage on a failed save, or half as much on a successful save. And then I get it higher, so it's
It succeeded.
10. So you're taking half that damage
Okay,
of 14 divided by 2, so 7.
7. Okay. All right,
Earth
and that
Kingdoms.
would bring us to, let's see, initiatives. It looks like Whistler. Whistler, you still up?
Oh yeah. I got 10 whole hit points.
You know.
I back up from the opening of the.
Oh, by the
Is
way,
one-
you smell charred cranium rats everywhere, by the way.
No.
Yeah. Okay, because we're down in the sewer below it, right? And it
Yeah,
shot
in
through hole.
the subway sewer system. Basically.
Okay, so I'm gonna move back away from the hole,
Okay.
just hopefully, so I'm not in the cone of that anymore.
Uh-huh.
So, well, was it like a cone that came down and got us, or was it like just enough that it totally filled the sewer?
It was a cone, but the cone was big enough that I really didn't calculate. But now that you know that it's there, you could, if you spent your time backing up, you could probably get out of the.
Yeah. So yeah, I will get out of the way and cast false life on myself.
Okay.
I'm gonna do it at second level.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's gonna roll it wrong, so it's actually 5 more than that
Okay.
because I don't have the card set up right to upcast it.
Okay. And I actually had screwed up the order a little bit. I didn't notice. Brutus, it's your turn. You should have actually gone before Whistler, but.
Oh,
That's
that's okay. What I'm gonna do probably wouldn't have affected Whistler at all anyway.
Okay.
So is Bill still on?
Oh yeah, Bill's still riding this thing.
Okay, he's still writing it.
By the way, now that because of the fire, like you can tell that the gouts that were like underneath its claws, they have like they're licking on fire, and you can see that what you thought was kind of like a weird mouth is actually looks like a giant cannon barrel,
Oh, goody. Yeah.
and it's beginning to spool up.
I got that, fam.
I want to see if I can also get on the scorpion's back and help Bill and maybe incapacitate it.
Okay, give me an athletics check as
Okay.
you scramble up there.
Oh, there it is.
No, it's not that it's particularly hard to grab onto, but the plates kind of come to a razor edge. So as you try to like,
It's just too slippery.
yeah, it's very slippery.
But
that was your first attack.
Okay. Then for my second attack, I'll just try and get then. We're using what you showed us, this is the example where the plates are angled. I'm going to try and get behind one of its larger arms and stab into the plates there, like where there would be a gap.
Okay.
No. So I'm like at its side, but kind of behind it. And don't, again, nope. Never mind.
Again, like it's just
It's
the
okay.
metal plates are just really hard to get through.
Yeah.
Okay, is that it for you?
Yep. New year, no new rules.
Okay, and now we come to Zashi.
Okay. I'm gonna use 20 of my lay on hands on myself for my action.
Okay.
I'm going to crawl up the hole and get off to one side so that we're not all bunched up together or in a line.
Mm-hmm.
And for my bonus action, I will go ahead and do Shield of Faith on myself.
Okay.
And that's it for this turn.
Okay. Okay. And that finally brings us to Daco.
Daco is he's gonna run up to that thing and he's gonna metal bend that cannon. Like he wants basically like I could do this 30 feet away, but I'm gonna like literally run up to it, grab that cannon, and metal bend it back so like it's pointing at itself if it doesn't completely jam.
Okay. I'm gonna allow it because it's interesting. I'm going to give it a save on this though.
Like it would fall under basic earthbending, but I can do metal now, so that's less than a 5 foot.
Oh no, I'm very much allowing it. It gets to make a save though. This isn't gonna.
Boo. It always makes it saves.
Let's see. Well, it's a strength save, and this thing. So I'm gonna tell you, this thing's not smart. It's not wise. It's not charismatic. But it's pretty strong.
And 14's my spell DC.
Gets an 11, and hey, it's not a legendary creature, so.
Oh my gosh! It doesn't just insta save. But its mother is.
So yeah, now it has this weird twisted barrel. You can still see it's starting to spool up. Like it's not.
And I'm in its face because I just.
Yeah. And that would bring us. Is that it for you?
Yep, that's it. Bonus action.
So Bill, you're up.
So Bill would like to use his commanding strike in order to use the Daco to get another attack on it, since he did such a wonderful job the first time.
Okay. So you get to. Does he add the D8 to the or does he add the dice to the damage roll or to the attack roll on that one?
Pretty attack damage.
The damage.
So
Okay,
I just roll a single attack or
Yeah.
next turn. Oh, you know what? Earthbend strike. Wah!
Unfortunately, you miss.
Flames loss. Sorry, Terry. I wasted your boost.
It's
I feel like
kind of just dings
it's my
off.
turn, but I feel like
Okay. And that would bring us then to Storm.
All right. Who's up top with it now?
That would be Zashi, Brutus, and Bill, and Daco.
Wait, we're not up top, right? We're below.
Well, you said you climbed up to get to the side of it, so you're up top.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, sure. I misunderstood. My bad. Never mind. Yes.
The only ones that are still down are you, and then Whistler is like trying to get out of the flame zone.
Whistler is smoking and putting out feathers that are still on fire.
All right. So I'm going to look up at it, and I'm going to be yelling because my fur's singed now,
Okay.
and about how it sucks. I'm going to use vicious mockery on it.
Okay. Oh wait a minute! Does vicious mockery require? Vicious mockery doesn't require it to have a intelligence score, does it?
No, they just have to hear.
Okay.
Which is odd.
Yeah.
But
Okay. It's Tasha City's laughter that requires an intelligence score. Okay.
Yeah, it does do psychic damage. So
Right.
if it's immune to psychic damage,
Well,
which a lot of constructs are,
It's weirdly not immune to psychic damage. It takes half damage from psychic damage, so it's resistant. So
So it's a living.
It's resistant, but I just wanted the
the
disadvantage.
disadvantage, yeah.
And then I'm going to use my bonus action to yell up at let's Brutus, do better, and give bardic inspiration.
Yay!
For
Well,
D8.
ouch, my feelings, but also thank you. I appreciate it.
Okay. Now it's its turn. First, I have to roll for its cannon, which does not fire.
Oh, I was really hoping it'd shoot itself in the head.
But then its first attack is going to be against Bill to get him off his back, but it has disadvantage on this. 21 to hit you, Bill. Okay. And it's actually using its grasp, so it grasps, it grabs you. So you take you take 10 points of bludgeoning damage, but it actually picks you off of its back. You are now grappled by it. It's in one of its claws. It's going to make its second attack against Brutus. Same basic thing with the grabbing claws. 24 to hit you, Brutus.
I'm not even here, and you're killing me. And yes, the 24 hits.
14 points of bludgeoning damage, and you are also lifted off the ground by these grasping claws.
That's exactly where he wants to be. The
Yeah.
joke's on you, Scorpion.
Owie.
And then Zashi, the tail whips and points. It looks like this like giant needle thing on the tail, and goes to whip against you.
Okay.
12 to hit.
Misses.
You're able to dodge out of the way of the stinger.
Cool.
And that would bring us then to Brutus, and then it'll be Whistler and Zashi and Daco. Brutus, you're in the claws of this thing. You're not restrained, but you are grappled.
I am grappled?
Yeah, you're grappled, but you can't move. It's like your speed is 0, but you're not restrained, so you don't have disadvantage on anything.
Okay.
Oh,
Okay.
I also have to check to see if its flame thing recharges.
Okay.
Sorry.
It shouldn't.
It does.
Damn it.
You actually rolled that twice that turn, though.
No, I checked to see if the cannon fired, and then I checked to see if this thing has a lot of attacks.
Okay.
It's not a legendary creature, but it has a lot of.
Okay. It has a cannon and the flames thing.
Uh-huh.
Where does the
What?
flame thing come from?
Underneath its claws.
I'm going there next.
So, did the cannon get us for 30 points, or did the flame thing?
The flames got you for 30 points.
Yeah.
Technically, it was actually 2 flame things, but they combined into 1.
Well, that sucks. 'Cause
Well, we know where I'm going next then.
yeah.
So I can't gore him because I can't headbutt him while he's holding me. So I'm gonna try it.
Not with that attitude.
Can I? Because if he's swinging me around and I get close enough, I will.
Hey, maybe you'll roll a natural 20.
I
and
mean,
he'll let-
you're struggling in this. I will let you try to make the gore attack.
yeah, maybe you grab a hold of the arm and like pull it and yank yourself.
I
in.
mean, like, if you were really inventive, you could like try to gore the gout that the flame comes out of and try to pry it with your horde.
Is that on the arm? That
Yeah,
I'm...
it's like
Oh,
so
yeah,
the
then I'll
claw's
do
like
that.
this. The gout is like a wrist mounted thing if it had wrists.
Okay.
You might want to do something about that before it starts going off.
I'll do that then.
You have a feeling that you and Bill are gonna have some problems if these flames go off
Yeah.
while you're grappled by it.
So the gore missed. I'm gonna try again with the scimitar, and I'll use my bardic inspiration because,
Okay.
please, I need it to actually hit.
Hey, you hit.
Thank you. Good God. All right. Oh wait, that does more now? Or no? Oh no, it doesn't. Okay, damn, I got really excited. I thought I'll take it.
Okay. You do 14 points of damage to it. It's
To the
Is the
stabbing it-
scimitar magic?
Yeah. I can.
Shayna?
Yes.
Is the scimitar magical? I forgot.
It is now.
Yeah, I took the horn cap off and put it on the scimitar. Did I not mention it? I did that before the fight started.
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
I'm taking that's a no.
Enchanted for her because they saw this battle coming with their infinite predictable skills.
Well, we were in the cart. The rats enchanted it.
I think that attack was very magical. So
Okay, so it takes 7 points of slashing damage.
No fun.
Is that it for you?
Yeah, I don't have anything. Damn it! Can I
Wis-
put for the future? I take the cap of my horn and put it on my
No,
scimitar.
it doesn't fit.
It doesn't work like that.
Whistler
you need a
or
cord staff to
Zashi,
make
whichever
your,
one of you want to go next.
I guess I'll go since it looks like Tucker's away from his computer.
No, I'm right here.
Oh, okay.
But
There
no,
you
go
are.
ahead and go because I'm just gonna cast Mage Armor on myself.
All right, I will go ahead and come alongside of this thing and attack it with my scimitar.
Okay.
+6. 23 on the first one.
That definitely hits.
I'll go ahead and use a smite. So this is going to be 3d8 because it's not undead or a fiend. +3 plus 1d2 of lightning damage.
Okay.
27 points of damage, and this sword is magical.
Yeah, okay. So it actually weirdly takes 29 points of damage. However, Bill and Brutus, both of you take 2 points of lightning damage as the lightning arcs through this thing.
And you hear Zashi say, "Oh fucking shit!"
In fairness, Yako was probably still holding that cannon because I bent. that.
Okay, so take 2
Up
more.
to you, I'm just
Yeah,
throwing it
no,
out there.
take 2 points. It's actually worded that it's when they're grappled and it takes the lightning damage.
Okay, well then I'm not taking it.
Okay.
Damage. What's wrong with you?
Okay. And then also Zashi, can you please roll me a 1d3? Okay. You see as your strike comes off, you cleave that tail just completely off.
Okay. All right. Before I make my next attack, I'm gonna call out to Bill and Brutus. You guys feeling okay? Can I hit it again?
By all means, hit it again.
They'll be fine. Put them back together later.
17 to hit.
Bing! Bounces off of its armor.
All
We
right.
want
That
this
is
way back after
good
all.
to know. There's something.
Can I borrow your magic sword, though?
So I can shock myself because it's more fun.
Yeah, I want to be in charge of that.
So Whistler, you're going to go ahead and cast Mage Armor. Is that right?
Actually, no. I'm gonna cast.
It was a ruse.
No, I'm gonna cast Mirror Image instead and crawl out
Okay.
and start climbing up.
Okay. Daco.
Jocko is now going to attempt and metal bend the flame producing apparatus.
Under which? So there's 2.
Okay. We'll start with left. My left is right because I'm facing it, I guess.
Is it right or is it correct?
I
It's
don't know.
right. So the one on Bill. Okay. So
But if it's stage right, then you're facing it, then it'd be its left.
wow, your metal bending is actually doing right.
Yeah.
Bill, you notice as the pipe around you, the flame gout in front of you, just kind of crushes and seals off.
The real fun would have been if I'd have said, I'm going to metal barn that arm just right off.
Yeah, I probably wouldn't have allowed that. That's a
God,
lot of
dude.
metal.
Just wait for the hinges.
Taco's got this.
Hey, you're
And-
finally getting to do your thing.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Just metal bend the screws out of it.
Magneto. That's it for me, Scott.
Do it,
Okay.
That's my action.
Bill.
So Bill would like to try to break the grapple to get out.
Okay, go ahead and give me an athletics check.
8. Alright, good. That works, right?
You succeed.
Sweet.
Apparently, the metal bending also managed to like affect its like wrists a little bit. So even with your like weak attempt, it's like
So
Critical
many-
fail, critical fail. I
Yeah.
don't know.
Everyone pay attention to this set of rolls and get ready for what I do.
So the 20s come next. Yeah.
No, because it's just going to be flipped. I'll get the 6, I'll get the 8.
So I'm not sure how far I fall down, and if I wanted to.
you don't fall.
to the side.
It's not. You're not that far up on off. Like, you do fall into some of the water, but we'll deal with that later.
Okay, then I'd like to move to a more advantageous position, closer to the space, so it has to choose between me or somebody else.
Okay.
And then I'd like to do second wind for my next action.
Come
Okay.
over by me.
And I think that's going to be good for me.
Okay. And then Storm.
All right, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to use Vicious Mockery on it.
Okay.
It succeeds.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm going to bonus action, and I'm going to give Sashi Bardic Inspiration.
Oh, thank you.
Remember, you can use that on saving throws too.
He's like, shock me some more, baby.
Okay, it's now the Scorpion's turn. First thing is to see if the cannon goes off.
My vote is yes into its own face.
It does not.
Damn.
Now it's gonna try to use its flame gout ability, but the one that was near Bill actually that originally was holding Bill actually explodes as the pressure is too much on it. Brutus, I need you to make a dexterity saving throw with disadvantage, please.
Yeah, huh. Even though I stabbed it, because I specified.
You're still grappled by it. You're sitting right in front of the flame gout.
But I stabbed it. That should do something. With the disadvantage, doesn't matter. Oh yeah, super doesn't matter. How much am I taking? So I got 2 12s.
10 points of fire damage.
It's just mean.
As it kind of just lifts you up a little bit and just gets against your skin.
Not fully cooked yet.
Its claw is gone. Its tail is gone. Okay. That's its turn. So that would bring us then to
Brutus, I think.
Brutus.
Thank God. Okay, hold on. Second wind. That's all I've got. Wait, I want some health back. I'm gonna die in one hit. Okay, I'll take it. And now I will also try to break away.
Okay.
So athletics.
Uh-huh.
Okay. Nope, probably not.
Nope.
Yep.
It still has it. You still have another attack.
Oh, do I? Okay.
Oh no, that's break grapple, not start grapple.
Yeah.
Never mind.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Whistler Zashi.
How many 12s am I gonna get?
I don't know.
You're going to get all the 12s.
I've got
So
4 or 5 already.
4 whistlers crawl out of the cave.
Okay.
See Brutus trying to struggle, run over the arm and try to help Brutus get out.
Okay, so you're taking the help action?
Yeah, or well, I should, That would be smarter. But no, he's gonna try to take the break grapple action himself.
Okay.
You'll get it though. Watch.
You have to beat an 11.
Please get a 12. I'm sending you my 12 power.
Come on.
Be my savior.
Athletics. Nope.
No.
Damn.
So now there's this little
God.
crow man trying to like pry open this giant scorpion claw.
And I'm cheering for him.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so Zashi.
Okay. Gonna call out to try not to touch it while I do this.
She said.
I'm trying.
I've got the bardic inspiration. Does a 21 hit?
21 is its armor class.
Awesome. Okay. I will. How hurt is it looking?
I mean, it's missing a claw and a tail, but like it's a construct, so like it doesn't seem to care that it's missing a claw and a tail.
All right. I'm gonna hold on to my smite for now. Where are you? That's 1d8 plus 3 plus 1d2. I rolled a 2 on the d2 again. So 9 points of damage, 2 of
So
which
11
are
points of
lightning.
damage to it. It's as lightning arcs through it. This time no one's in its grasp, so it doesn't fry anybody.
Brutus is. And Whistler's on it.
Oh yeah, Brutus takes another 2 points of damage. Whistler, you
So
don't
is-
because you're not grappled by it.
Okay.
Okay. Try this again. Brutus, hang in there.
Hey, if you can kill it, I'll keep taking the just
I am going to use
Brutus
my
likes the green.
ability.
no king shaming.
Because I really want to hit it, so I am going to go ahead and use my channel divinity to do guided strike.
Okay.
So that's a 21 to hit again.
Yeah. Okay.
And I will go ahead and burn a smite. To do 22 points of damage, 2 of which are lightning.
Okay. So 24. Brutus, you take. Well, there's only one limb left. So Brutus, you don't take 2 more points of damage as she's able to chop off right at the joint of the
Hell yeah.
arm.
Oh, sure. She can chop through it, but I can't metal bend it.
Salty.
Every time it takes over 25 points of damage in a single turn, it loses a limb. That's how that's worded.
Does the claw release as it detaches and falls, or
He's
what's
still grappled.
what's the situation here?
Give me a 1d2.
Belt now.
I was going to just say, yeah, it released, but because you asked, go ahead and give me a 1d2, Bruce.
And then I have. Oh god damn it! I'm gonna.
This was your fault.
She's laying on the ground wrestling with a dismembered claw.
I've lost a hand. I'm gonna have a weird ass belt now.
It releases.
Damn it! I actually would have thought it'd be cool.
He swings it around whenever he goes into battle. Just like loops around his waist indefinitely
I
forever.
would think for the rest of the fight, I would just pick up the arm and use it to bludgeon.
Okay,
You
Taco.
still can.
Just
So the cannon's disabled-ish, we think, and the 2 fire things are non-existent things anymore, right?
Uh-huh.
So yeah, I'm just gonna go ahead and I am going to I'm gonna assault and send an earth slab at this thing as well.
Yeah, that's a miss. It's still ungodly tough.
It's my turn.
Sorry. Bill.
I'm gonna go open a door somewhere. Leave me alone.
So Bill would like to go back to one of its back legs, possibly, and attack it.
Okay.
Except from different input. And I will go to-
You
23
hit. Go
hit.
ahead and roll damage for me. Okay.
Uh,
You don't take off a limb, but it's looking hurt. It's hard. I mean, it's hard to tell, really. But the
yeah.
okay. And then that would bring us to Storm.
All right, I'm going to climb out of the hole.
Mm-hmm.
and then back away from it as far as I can, and then I'm gonna vicious mockery again.
Okay.
You're just talking a lot of shit this way.
Yeah.
Yeah. It kind of goes. It's now its turn. Okay, there we go. And so I need Bill, Brutus, and Zashi to all make dexterity saving throws as the cannon blasts itself in the face.
Yeah, I knew that was coming.
Do I need to make one too since I'm standing?
Are you in
there, or-
melee with it?
Technically, yeah.
Then yes.
Shit.
Yeah,
Scott,
me
what
too.
Try and take a swing at it.
I was gonna ask, just 'cause it's been a while since I played the character. Is there any color that I see from it, any like magical wise that's going off? I want to make sure I see it before it dies.
Oh, abjuration and transmutation magic. And a very small amount of conjuration magic, but at the very center of it.
Please don't kill Brutus.
Please. My baby.
Well, it's Dako's fault this time. He did make it shoot itself in the head.
So Brutus, you take Brutus and Dako take 17 points of force damage.
Okay.
And Whistler, right?
What?
Well, Whistler was grappling with it,
Yeah.
trying to.
Yeah. Whistler, you made
If
your
Brutus
save.
got hit. Whistler got hit. Yeah. So
Yeah. Whistler, you take what would that be? 8 points of force damage, and Zashi takes 8 points of force damage. Basically, anyone that sorry, Bill, Brutus, and Dako all take 17 points of force damage. Zashi and the Whistler take 8 points of force damage. As this explosion happens, and then I need to roll actually the damage it took. Because it got hit by its own cannon at full damage.
I have less than you, Terry.
Yeah, Terry. your third status update was like one less than my max.
Okay. The cannon, however, blows a huge, there's a giant explosion. The water ripples across it. I think Scorpion gets a how do you want to do this on itself. As this cannon rips through its body. There's just pieces of metal and shrapnel and debris everywhere.
Good guy. Brutus just kind of sits on the ground and is like, I need a minute.
Okay.
Everybody,
All
hold
right,
on.
Brutus.
Hey, Bill, what's up?
So I had a question. So the magic itself, has any of it faded? Because I'm thinking about trying to tear this thing open and going to get in the center.
So the transmutation and the abjuration magic basically fades instantaneously. That little bit of conjuration magic that you sensed is still there, and its fact seems to be kind of growing. Not like in terms of power, but in terms of volume, I guess. Like something was holding it in place.
Dako's unconscious on the ground.
You're
by the way.
muted, Terry.
I am not.
If
What makes sense?
Dako's unconscious, Zashi will walk over and use one lay on hands and boop his nose and wake him up. Yep, 1 hit point.
Interesting. So I was gonna say, I tried to translate that as best I can to anyone magic-wise. I was saying there was this magic and explaining like using the colors, whatever we have, ahead of time to let them know certain things. The one that was inside that was smaller has gotten bigger. Do we want to do something before something bad happens, or ask them if something bad's gonna happen? Would anybody know?
I can have Arcana checks if no one wants to guess.
sorry, I missed it. What's going on?
So basically, Bill saw multiple forms of magic on the creature when we were fighting. 2 of those forms of magic disappeared. The one magic that I saw, specifically conjuration, instead of it going away as well, it's kind of expanded. So I just want to let people know, try to figure out if that's something we need to run away from, or something we need to worry about, or something we can harvest.
Or maybe it's gonna put itself back together again.
I don't know. That's the whole point. I was letting somebody know because I don't know any much about magic.
From Zashi's perspective, it could be any of those things you just mentioned.
So then, do we want to open this up and get to it?
Well, okay, so let me explain something to Whistler real quick, because Whistler made the Arcana check and is the only one that did. Most golems are actually, they have their physical structure, but in the center of them, there is a bound elemental spirit. You're pretty sure that's what's happening right now, is the bound elemental spirit into this scorpion is probably being released.
Oh, good. Then I want to help free it if Whistler shares any of that.
Right. Well, so is that like they're an elemental spirit, like an elemental that could attack us, or it's just
Like an elemental that could theoretically attack you, if it was so inclined.
Hit it.
Oh, free it. What's wrong with you? Hit it.
Yeah, the elemental guy over here really meant that.
Yeah. What can I tell what kind of elemental it is?
God damn it, you guys.
As extrapolating from what you saw of the scorpion and the
Wait.
small amounts of fire that seem to be flicking out, you're pretty sure it's a flame element. It's some type of fire elemental.
Okay. Yeah, I just hold my hands out to the side, do this, and then I walk back.
Telling everyone to back up.
Yeah. Okay.
If that's all he shares, and I don't know that
Which are any of the cranium rats still alive?
You actually see a few of them pop
That
out
fire
of
hit
the.
everybody but Bill's rock. So
You see, you see a bunch of them actually starting to pop out and looking up at this thing. And actually, as they do, you, because you asked about it, you can actually see the rats. They seem to be casting some type of spell. And Bill, you actually see the elementals start collapsing back in. There's some type of abjuration magic is forming around the elemental.
Okay, let everybody know about the change. Colors changed.
I asked the rats what they're doing.
They don't seem to respond to you, but coalescing is this kind of red crystal just starts floating in the middle of air.
Don't imprison it. Just let it go.
I want to walk up and take a closer look at it.
Okay.
I look over at Bill's rock, and I just mime putting something in my mouth, and then shake my head no.
You'll get heartburn. Don't eat this one.
Okay, Zashi, as you start approaching the crystal, I need everybody to make a wisdom saving throw, please.
Same for Bill.
If you have any resistance to charm, you get advantage on the roll.
Oh, yay. Advantage.
I got 19.
Okay. You guys are standing in a library.
Well, then
Alright.
I'm going to stand up and start looking for what I came to find.
Okay, so we still have the metal scorpion.
Yep.
I'm guessing the crystal is gone.
What crystal?
Exactly. I'm going to start looking for the books that I want to share with Foxglove. So I'm going to start going through the library and pulling books out and flipping through them.
I'm actually asking the cranium rats if they can.
What cranium rats?
They all left. I thought there was still.
I don't know what
some
you're talking about. What are you talking about, cranium rats?
You failed your wisdom check.
around. Damn it!
We all failed our wisdom check.
It had to been
They
over,
erased themselves.
it had to have been over 20 because I got a 19. So
Secretly, they just wanted the flame elemental.
yeah, it was a very
I
high.
don't know what
None
cranium
of us
rats you're talking about.
What
So
about
when you say what cranium rats, you mean like we forgot the entire
Yeah.
encounter?
I have no idea what you're talking about. What cranium rats?
Yeah, there were none.
Okay.
The GM failed his roll too.
God, how powerful are the cheats you have put in here? Jesus. All right, well, I'm wondering why I'm burnt and bleeding to death, and I sit in the
You
corner.
remember a fight with the scorpion? You guys fought a
Oh,
giant mechanical scorpion.
I'm not just suddenly bleeding out in a library.
So that means we also don't remember that we were told we could find what we were looking for here. So I'm just generally looking for books that
No,
might
you were
interest
told
Taco.
by. It's hard to discern who told you. You think it was Abernathy was told you about this library?
I don't think I met Abernathy, but okay, sure. I'm looking for earthbending books or any kind of bending books.
Yeah, Zashi is looking for art and books to share with Foxglove.
Brutus is trying not to bleed on shit, so give me a second. I'll roll some healing.
I guess-
Storm is just going to look for books too, since everybody else is.
Bill's gonna do a short rest, if not long rest.
Okay.
Unless somebody stops.
Yeah, actually, how long are we here? Are we going to be here long enough for a long rest? Because I'll just go to sleep.
Yeah, Bill's been going to sleep already.
Everyone was talking, so I didn't hear.
We don't seem to have any enemies, so if we want to take a rest, we probably could here. We are going to have to pack up whatever we find and take it back through the tunnel on that weird cart thingy.
Aren't we right now just like in a big storeroom?
Yeah, basically. You're kind of in it would be like the uncatalogued book section of the library. So there's just like stacks that are actually pretty moldy because this place is flooded, so like it's not the nicest area. Yes, Bill.
So I had a question before I go to sleep. If I look around real quick, do I see anything that stands out magic-wise? Because like I said, my eyes are special.
Not in here. If you were like, I'll let you know because it's pretty free for him. If you poke your head out, you definitely see, especially with your eyes, far up on the second floor, there seems to be a door that has a bunch of wards on it. But that's the only thing that really stands out magical. You do notice like some books have a slight glow like scattered throughout, but it's very minor.
Okay, well, I'll probably grab them after I take my nap/sleep.
Okay.
Daco's looking for books.
Okay, give me
He's gonna keep going. He ain't stopping until he's done.
give me an investigation roll.
Another one?
Oh, did you already roll one?
I would like
someone
to
else did too.
assist Daco,
But yeah.
if that's all
did.
right.
Okay. What are you looking for, Daco? Are you looking for anything particular or just?
I don't remember the conversation apparently, but books about earthbending or benders or stuff that would.
You
pertain to
remember
earth-
a conversation about earthbending?
Okay, because someone told me the symbols were seen in this library, so I'm looking for stuff like that.
Yeah, it's you find a few. Most of them are just treatises on elemental magic. Fortunately, you are Elven, so you can actually read these books. You do notice that all of these books are in Elven. Not a single one of them is in common.
In the entire library?
In the section you are in right now. It looks like any of the public consumption books would be in Elven. In the storeroom you guys actually entered in, there'd be a few in common, a few in various languages getting ready that would have been translated and then sent for public consumption.
Gotcha. I am totally putting all the books that I find on these topics into my pouch.
Okay.
And if there's anything on Dustborn as well, because that might have tangential.
Absolutely nothing on Dustborn. They
Okay.
would not have existed by the time this library.
Before I go to sleep, could I ask Daco, hey, if you see anything about Minotaurs, can you grab it for me? I'm going to go take a nap.
I have a question for Scott.
Yeah.
So at one point you told me that to be a bender that you had to be Dustborn. But
Right.
it was pre-established that there were benders in this era.
Yeah. Okay. So the benders in this era would not have been Dustborn. The
Oh.
term Dustborn did not exist.
Okay.
However, their consumption of dust allowed them to become air benders in this area.
Okay. Gotcha.
Pretty much in fact, the books you pick up basically accuse most of the elemental benders of being drug addicts.
Fair enough. I like it.
So I'm looking for books on time magic
Mm-hmm.
and religious texts about the sun god. But I'm also easily distracted by anything about flight.
Okay. So there are quite a few books on flight. Most of them are like scientific treatises on like making technology like airships and the like, and binding wind spirits into various or air spirits into various vessels, to create such things. There are religious texts. There's an entire religious section. Most of them are psalms to the sun god. In fact, pretty much all the books here kind of view the other gods as lesser to the sun god. There are,
I'm more looking for any books that are like maybe heretical towards the sun god, or
you don't find any of those here. Just like you would not find any of the time magic ones in this section of the library. I will say
But
that.
there are other sections that we shall explore.
Do you
Don't
speak
you
Elven?
worry.
Does Whistler understand Elven?
nope.
Okay.
He knows a guy.
I will tell you, Daco, just because you'll immediately ask anyways, there is a section labeled that in Elven it just says forbidden on the front door. It is the same door that you saw, that Bill saw a bunch of abjuration magic emanating from.
I'm actually going to invite Whistler to go with me and let him know what that word translates to. I'm not whispering it, but like I'm specifically like wanting to go that way, but I'm inviting Whistler because he's our magic user.
Okay. I look to the wall right next to the door, and I like punch it and then point to it.
Okay, sure. And then I earthbend a door beside the actual door.
You guys suck, but yes, that works. I'm gonna go get coffee real quick.
You might have to make another pot.
No, man, you didn't make coffee for the GM?
I made the
I'll go get
pot
Sprite.
earlier.
Roll a 1d4, take that much damage.
Oh,
I really feel like you didn't even be like, let's check for a trap. You're like, no, don't even
sure.
bother.
Sounds good to me.
You know, Daco's
When you
tired.
get back,
and he
would
just
you let
thought
me
it was a
know if
great
I
idea.
find anything? I'll be right back.
So since Brutus had mentioned
Sorry, I didn't want to yell across the house. I told Scott that, of course, I don't read Elven, so I'm actually going by pictures, trying to find minotaurs or some of the other
Aw,
If
thank
only there was an elf you could have asked to look out for these things for you.
Hey, I said that. I did say that I
Did.
specifically told Daco, hey, keep an eye out for minotaurs for me.
Nope.
I mean, at this point, everybody knows.
Mhm.
So,
But he's just keeping an eye out. He's not actively looking for minotaur stuff.
fair. If something really important came up and you guys couldn't find Daco and needed it translated, you can just wake up Brutus and I'll take short rest heals instead of full, and that's fine by me.
Sashi's gonna wait until Brutus is ready. She's gonna just have like a stack of various books to go over with Brutus later.
I think you're right about the antler, and I just for some reason didn't write it down, but that'll be my next thing on my to-do list when we get back to town.
Okay, we'll try to do this in somewhat order. So, Zashi, you're looking for Minotaur books first. You do find, because you don't speak Elven, you do manage to find a few that have, looks like anatomical drawings of male and female Minotaurs. Judging from the drawings, you're not sure this is a medical text. It looks like a medical textbook. Like somebody has obviously autopsied a Minotaur populace. There is also in that section a very weird description of a giant wasp ant thing with pictures in it. But it's much cruder. Like they didn't have a
Professional.
like they didn't have it. It looks more like a police sketch, I guess, than it does like somebody who's drawing from a description of something else.
Cool.
Kind of like how Ben Kenobi looks like someone drew Keanu Reeves from memory. Got it.
Sure. The there wouldn't, with your inability to speak Elven, you wouldn't find any war books. As for books that you would share with Foxglove, you're pretty sure you found the romance section of the library.
All right.
Judging by the art on the front cover, a lot of like bare-chested, lithe male elves
With long hair.
Oh, yeah, with long flowing hair.
Perfect. I will take a lot of those and all of the books I find that look like Minotaur or the giant wasp ant things.
You really only find one or two with the Minotaur, and only one has the giant wasp ant things in it. Storm, what are you looking for? I know, Bill, you're passed out.
Storm was just looking around. He doesn't know what's going on, and he can't read the languages, so he's just looking for things with pictures.
Is there a comic section in graphic
There's a
novel?
children's section.
There is actually a children's section.
Is there a section where you could learn elf? 'Cause that's-
Yeah,
Weirdly, yes. In the children, like
bilingual.
I shouldn't call it a children. You find a room that, unlike
help.
it's on the second floor, so away from all the water, and unlike the rest of the area, which is all like tile and columns and wood bookcases, this is like
Beanbag chairs. And...
like carpet and
small chairs.
yeah,
tiny.
really tiny chairs. And there is definitely one that's like a picture book, but with like the Elven alphabet on the top of it. And
Yeah, Storm will take that and sit in one of the tiny chairs and start reading.
If I wake up and find him reading it, I will help him. Because that's adorable.
Because
there is a bunch of these genres of books, like
Oh, languages?
of it's just Elven. Well, there would probably be a few other languages there too. We'll figure that out.
I will take the different languages.
Okay.
One of each.
Downtime, I will start learning.
The whole series, the Rosetta Stone of.
Yeah.
I love it.
Um.
Zaki will, during breaks, also get in on reading after we get back. But
Okay. The forbidden section. So that's Whistler and Daco. You guys managed to. Fucking stone shaping.
You should have just warded the wall.
Yeah, for real.
The elves would not have warded the wall.
Well, they didn't see this coming, did they?
Yeah.
It does take you a bit because it's a fairly thick stone. Now, once you were in there, there is like it's just wall to wall books. There doesn't seem to be a huge amount of organization here. But yeah, you're just looking at a bunch of books. What are you looking for specifically?
FYI, as I'm looking, I'm actually reading off titles or guesses at titles out loud to Whistler.
You do notice most of these do not have titles.
Okay.
There are a few. Some like a treatise on one actually would probably interest Whistler, of a treatise on the sun god. This is a heretical text. It is primarily about how he is subordinate to the god of light and entropy, to Nyarlathotep and Ptolerain, who's actually the same deity, and the hierarchy of the deities. In most depictions, the Sun Emperor is above all gods. In this thing, he is actually subordinate to something, and is actually on equal level with like 3 other deities.
So I'm
Okay.
totally about to like put that off to the side as I'm like, it looks like some kind of heretical sun worshiper.
Yeah,
And I just kind of give Whistler a look when he takes that one, shrug and keep going. But I'm continuing to look for benders, dust, my keywords of choice.
Again, not a lot of these things are titled. You get this, especially when you were down below. Like, most books at this point are like people's journals, so they don't really get a title until the library gives them a title.
Mm-hmm.
And you get the sense that these ones don't really have titles. There seems to be some type of numbering convention with them. It seems it looks as you get deeper into this area, the older the books are.
I'm going to point that out to Whistler and suggest that there might be some kind of card catalog system around here.
Okay. Whistler will look for the card catalog system.
Give me an investigation check.
I'm going to throw one up there for you, too, because it sounds like a great idea. Investigate well, Daco.
Oh yeah, Whistler. You find a.
Can't find my notes.
It's basically a drawer underneath. Like, it's kind of hidden. It's designed so most of the time you'd only ever notice it if you knew it was already there. But under each main bookcase, there seems to be a drawer that pulls out and little cards like this big, with descriptions of the numbers.
Old-fashioned card.
So yeah, I point those out to Daco because I can read the numbers, but I can't read the other stuff.
So I sit down and start translating as I go through the cards.
So you notice for the most part, it's the entire section is divided into it is organized chronologically, but you notice there is a date system and a number system designed. So the card catalog is actually separated by genre. So you have heretical texts, subversive texts, magical texts, dangerous texts, and then it's like quarantined texts, and you don't quite know what quarantined means.
Quarantined means no.
We'll start with magical, go to dangerous, and then swing by quarantined.
That's totally the plan.
I mean, if you need a detour into heretical, that's on you, but those are my 3.
Okay, so magical texts, you notice very quickly, are primarily spell books, like wizard spell books that have been kept for basically posterity reasons. To Whistler, this is probably a treasure trove of items.
He's actually going through and he's just flipping through the pages because they're still probably mostly in Elven, so he can't actually read them. He's just looking for spell geometry, and if it's interesting, he's ripping those pages out of the book.
Okay, I'll have to consult some D100 rolls, but but for a start, let's go ahead and give me Tucker, can you give me a 3d8 roll?
Even as a joke, that hurts me. Physically, I
It's a whole book. I can help you translate it later.
So you're able to get 6 intact spells from doing that, and I will figure out what those spells are later.
If he does see anything that's Indracanic or Orin that he can read, he'll take the book. But yeah,
You do find one spell book that's in Draconic. I will give you that.
Yay! All right.
There are a few in Elven treatises on the various schools of magic that are probably way over Daco's head, and Whistler can't read, but
I'm going to suggest that this is probably a really good one to figure out what it says.
I want to give Brutus a
Instead
shot.
of taking the whole book, we'll look into it later.
I want to make sure each spell book is each spell tome under this is the schools of magic like this thick, so it's not.
We can get Brutus to carry this one for you.
Okay.
Oh yeah, no, I'm already sitting down. I'm gonna make the disc. So I have like a disc of books just following us. Now.
Nice.
Okay.
Oh,
Like
the
it.
dream.
Yes.
And I guess it's time to move on to getting dangerous.
Oh my god.
The
Bring back
dangerous section is. Okay, give me a 1d6, please.
Both of us or one of us?
the first book explodes.
No, Daku.
They're all trapped.
They are not.
One is a beast, one's a mimic, one explodes. Karma eyebrow lost forever.
Once Sashi is done collecting some of the romance novels, she'll wander over to where Dako and Whistler are working.
Okay, give me
She's
a
on the
real quick second. I need to look something up real quick on that for that too.
Okay.
That means it's good.
I can't wait till we get to the quarantine section. Maybe it'll be one of those like you mustn't read from the book moments and just looking at
Okay,
it.
so the book, and it looks like this. You find a book that looks like it should be in a set of 6. But the book you find says Manual of Quickness of Action in Elven,
Oh, that's fancy. And I'm gonna set
and
that.
it's radiating magic.
I'm gonna set that on the thing, and I'm gonna look at him and say like, Dipsies.
I will go ahead and cast detect magic though.
Okay, pretty much. So in the dangerous section and the quarantine section, pretty much all of it is just radiating points of magic.
We're gonna find some good ish in here.
Okay.
He wanders over. Yeah,
So
no,
I'm looking for things that don't radiate abjuration
Okay.
or evocation. I'm just kind of staying away from those two and taking everything else.
Half a brain.
Okay. Sounds good. So you found a few transmutation. First time you touch one that's radiating necromancy, please make me a Constitution saving throw.
I'll throw down one too.
Don't
'Cause
want you to die, but an undead whistler would be really cool too.
Nice.
Okay. Well, if that happens before I do mine, I'm gonna start mage handing things at that point.
Okay, yeah, that's fine. Yeah, so you find 2 that are in the dangerous section with necromancy. The quarantined has them all over the place. But actually, you notice quarantine tends to be necromancy and conjuration books.
I am the wrong character for this entire situation.
Yeah, I know. This is so lame.
One time we're in a badass library full of magic books with unrestricted access, and I'm on the ass
I
minotaur.
know, and I can't read the language.
I can read it, but I don't care.
Both
And
of your pain. I'm right there with you.
make me a necromancer.
Well, Whistler's having a good day. Okay, everyone, stop raining on his parade.
I will say, Whistler, you pick up, because you're specifically doing this, you pick up one spell, and this burst of enchantment energy lances into your head. Can you please make me a wisdom save?
I have not been good at those this whole game.
You're gonna get this one.
I mean, in fairness, you are Kenku.
What I say?
You don't take any psychic damage, and this is really weird. But for whatever reason, for the next hour, you have comprehend languages cast on you.
Can he
Cool.
speak now too?
No.
Damn it!
Comprehend languages, not tongues.
I know.
Yeah. Now I'm like,
The book,
Really
by
good.
the way,
I
was,
still don't want to touch all these dangerous things that I put on the thing, but I'm now using Mage Hand to like flip them open just to like read Elven.
Like a kid in a candy store.
they're primarily they're all books. Go ahead and, because you're randomly flipping open books, please give me a 1d8 roll.
We're not like being quiet. Well, Whistler's not being quiet. So anyone who wants to like find this area is gonna find
Yeah,
this
you guys
area.
all are hearing this like
I told Zashi nothing of interest here. She should check the other way.
Yeah, she doesn't believe you. She's watching Whistler. I don't want to like rain on your guys' parade though, because this is like one of the times Whistler can really like
Yeah.
shine and do
Okay.
stuff. So I'm
In
there.
Dako's not
But-
lying. He has not found anything of interest.
I would like everyone to pay attention to the one that Whistler just rolled.
Oh no.
He is now
This is
possessed.
me shining.
As he flips open a conjuration book and gets pulled into the book. Like
Dako jumps in.
What is that
I
episode?
literally try and jump into the book after him.
Your magic
I yell
school
Whistler.
bullshit.
I yell Whistler and try and jump into the book after him, even if I face plant on it.
give me a
You're
dexterity
sitting on a
check.
pile of dangerous books.
Like,
Okay, so some things have to happen. Please give me a dexterity check there, Dako. Let's say the acrobatics. Dexterity
should have read that
acrobatics.
manual quickness of action first.
May I do the same as Zashi would lunge forward as soon as she saw Whistler getting sucked in?
Yep.
It's not going to be great.
Okay. So Zashi, you're able to actually dive in after Whistler before the weird portal closes. Yes, Bill.
So, question for you. My understanding, the disc would follow to a certain distance.
Yeah,
He gets pulled,
but not
does
if he
the
gets
whole
pulled
disc-
into another plane.
Does it disappear?
Oh,
Yeah, the disc would actually disappear
So all the books just
Did
collapse.
Dako just face plant into a book?
into a big pile of books. Yeah, I'm gonna have you roll.
Dangerous books.
Yeah, of dangerous books. We're gonna have to deal with that in a second. Whistler and Zashi, you find yourselves in a demi-plane, absolute white. Like you can barely tell the difference between the ground, which seems to be made out of a kind of coarse paper material, basically, and the sky, which is like a gray, cloudy expanse. You do see just poking out on the horizon, also white, but from its silhouette, you can kind of tell a tower that goes impossibly skyward.
I waved to Yashi.
I wave back, walk over. You okay, Whistler?
Are we walking or are we floating?
You're on what seems to be paper.
Okay.
Like it. I mean, I don't think. I mean, Zashi wouldn't be able to feel that she's wearing boots. I think Whistler is not, but it feels like paper under your feet.
Yeah, Whistler doesn't wear shoes.
Yeah. So
yeah.
it feels
Is claws cutting into it?
a little bit.
Great.
Start digging at it.
Dako,
Dako, why?
you face plant into a pile of books. That actually, like, so you hit the disc, and then the disc disappears. So you kind of like you face plant into them, and then all of them collapse on top of you. Please roll me a 1d8.
I'm gonna tell you I'm now unconscious. I have one hit point.
1 point.
I am at 0.
Yeah. He knocked himself the fuck out on a pile of books.
Okay.
You know what? I was trying to help a friend.
This is the funniest goddamn.
Worth it. Worth it.
None of us saw it though.
Yeah,
Nope.
none of us saw it.
Nope. And Dako's now making death throws until he either stabilizes or dies.
Well, with that 6, let's see. Please
Yeah, I
don't
know,
make the death saving throws, but you suddenly feel dumber. I do need another 1d. I need a 1d20, please.
Oh. Oh.
Oh God.
Okay.
Just feel a little bit stupid.
I mean, I was Bert from Mary Poppins for a minute. What? Okay. I can't.
You also feel like it's weird. Like you don't remember having this many feet.
I don't.
Does he have though?
Really don't. How many feet do I have?
Cuando? How many?
Are you smart enough to count them?
That's what I'm wondering.
You are not smart enough to count them.
How long has it been? Can I wake up now, please? Pretty please. I need to see this.
Yeah, if I hear them like crashing around up there, I'm just going to take my books of learning, sigh, and go up there and see what's going on.
Wake me up on the way.
Yeah, yeah, I'll
It's not
wake
like
up.
I can tell you.
Okay.
Brutus.
Zashi and Whistler. So you guys are walking to the tower. Or you staying put.
Yeah, I'm
Zashi's
walking to
gonna
the tower. I got nothing else to do.
Yeah, same here. Zashi kind of like shrugs at Whistler, starts walking to the tower.
Okay. As soon as you make the intent to like before, the tower seemed really far in the distance. As soon as you make the like you think about the intent to walk to the tower, you find yourself you like take like 3 steps and you're at the base of the tower.
This is weird.
Oh, good. Physics isn't a thing here.
For Storm, you wake up Brutus. Do you wake up Bill too?
Yeah, sure. If he wants to get up.
Apparently, Bill doesn't want to get up.
Yeah, then I'm like, whatever. So I get Brutus, whatever.
I just pat Bill on the shoulder.
So
we
as
leave.
you guys make your way up there, you see a about 7-foot long green and yellow fuzzy caterpillar wrapped around a pile of books.
Does that thing turn into the scorpion that we saw? Is that what's going to happen?
It's like,
Is this like the larva stage?
what the hell is that thing?
Normally, I would have actually allowed you a Constitution saving throw, Chester, but you knocked yourself unconscious. So
But yeah, is he passed out now then?
no, he has the hit points of a caterpillar, of a giant caterpillar.
Like giant caterpillar.
I pull out a scimitar. Sorry. And I walk towards him and I speak and I say
I would
"Hello."
say, Chester. So
Not gonna-
you have Daco's personality. However, you have a rumbly in your tummy of this caterpillar, and like it likes paper, and you're covered in paper.
Oh, it's going to eat all the dangerous books.
You are the hungry caterpillar.
Mhm. I mean, would caterpillar object to being poked with a scimitar as well?
I'm not poking you with the scimitar. I'm just speaking to you first.
But she's holding that
I'm
scimitar, a
holding
little
it.
threatening.
I mean, you
Caterpillar
are
looks up
Daco.
with books, like in its mouth.
Which book is he eating?
I don't know. Give me a 1d8 there, Chester.
First of all, is it affecting him?
You know, sure.
Is it
one
the
character
book
eats a
that we're
lot
in?
of water, and
It
now I
depends
know-
upon what he rolls.
Big parts of it just start disappearing around Zachi and I.
So, Sim eats a rod of wonder. Daco is eating an entire pile of magic books. Noticing a theme with you.
So you
Chose
managed to.
wand.
Okay. So as you start eating this book, this like weird sheen comes over your caterpillar hide, as though there was some type of field wrapped around your body.
Aw, I'm in a larva cocoon.
You're gonna come back butterfly.
Yeah.
This is getting really weird. I'm not sure I like this place
I'm
anymore.
hungry.
Where did everybody go?
Daco and Whistler and Zashi.
Mm-hmm.
You're at the tower. It's a pristine white tower. There's a the kind of ash door. Like it looks like it's made of wood, but again, in keeping with the stark, just like color scheme of this place. And you're looking at a door. It has a singular window in it.
I'll knock on the door.
There is no answer.
What do you think, Whistler? Should we go through and maybe try to get to the top?
Just make another door.
How high is the window?
It would be like 5 feet up. Like you like Zashi could easily peek through the window.
Oh yeah, I'll peek through the window.
Inside it looks like a fairly nice like bedroom. Weirdly, the white color scheme kind of ends. It's now browns and very comfortable. There's a nice like fireplace.
Okay. Well, I knocked, so I'll try opening the door.
Yeah, the door opens and swings open.
Hello? Anybody here?
No real answer. On the outside,
I'm
there's
looking for books.
weirdly no books.
Okay.
The so Daco Pillar, and so yeah, it's you remember you are Daco. Like you don't have any way to communicate, and you have an intelligence of 1, but you are Daco.
I'm hungry and eating, you said, so I'm hungry and eating.
Yeah, I'm gonna look back at Storm and go, I don't think that thing should be eating these books. And I'll say, because we passed by the forbidden sign and I can read it. And I'm like, that said forbidden.
I mean, ideals says knowledge is power, and I'm hungry. So I'm eating the
It goes
knowledge.
against my player judgment, but they didn't tell us what kind of. Well, we know that these are forbidden, but we don't know why. So
Yeah.
Storm is going to start going in, trying moving the books away. Because he doesn't know. He can see.
Give me a 1d8, please. Actually, give me a 1d7 because the abjuration book is gone.
Dr. Cooler is not going to take his food source being messed with kindly.
Well, while they're doing that, Brutus doesn't know that this is Daco, so he's going to start yelling out for Daco. Like just screaming, Daco, where are you? Because we knew this is where they were going. So I yell out for Daco. If I don't hear anything after a while, then Whistler and Zashi.
Well, you would hear your name, Daco. Brutus yells out Daco. Do you acknowledge it?
Well, Daco is going to see that A, someone's messing with his food, and B, touching something they shouldn't, and D, probably try and prevent.
Again,
Storm.
you do. I will say you do recognize your friends. Now you probably don't recognize their names. You
Okay.
probably think of them as friend.
Right, and he's touching something dangerous.
Yeah.
It tastes good to me and is my food. So I'm trying to stop him from touching my food. Okay.
So
By holding your
Storm
fuzzy
is since you grabbed a book, I need you to make a Constitution saving throw as necromantic energy rips through your body.
And do caterpillars make noise?
Damn it. No.
Not really.
Like, my maw just go. Because I'm trying to tell him to leave.
If they were huge, they would make some kind
Yeah,
of
they
noise.
make some type of noise. I'm not entirely sure what that noise is.
Whatever that noise is happening at Storm. Unhappy.
How did I end up playing mom mode again when I'm Brutus?
You're forever mom. Forever
How
mom.
did this happen?
Why am I eating all the cool loot?
Cut that shit out.
Storm, you take 6 points of necrotic damage. That seems to start to fester. You cannot. You're basically your max HP goes down by 6 as well.
Awesome.
So I'm going to change my coil now to be between Brutus and Storm and all of the books. So like they have to physically go through me to
Okay.
get the books. And I'm
Okay.
going to make that noise again, whatever it is.
Can I do an insight check on his body language or like animal handling or something?
Animal handling, please.
Well, I mean, it's the same check because Brutus dumb as shit, but yeah, I got a 9. I see a real big ass caterpillar.
It's a real big ass caterpillar.
Storm is puking
Do I
in
feel bad?
the corner.
Zashi and Whistler. You find yourself in a tower, in a room. The bedroom, just kind of. It looks like a bedroom. There's a bed. There's lamps, or there's a fireplace, and then a spiral staircase going up.
Okay, yeah, I'm gonna start
Go up.
exploring the tower, trying to figure out what's going on.
Okay, again, as you start climbing up, it's like time compresses, and you find yourself on the top of this impossibly tall tower with it looks like a spyglass mounted on a tripod.
Okay, cool. I'm gonna look through the spyglass.
You see a giant caterpillar
Black
face.
ring around her eye.
I see a giant caterpillar face.
chewing on some book, and your friend Storm, like, as necromantic energy lances through him, and Brutus looking very confused.
Yeah, pretty much the face I have on now. I think.
Whistler?
I shrug and I look through the spyglass because I don't know.
You see the same thing.
Can we climb out of the book, Whistler?
I point. I run my hand along the telescope,
Mhm.
pointing out. Then I point to my my head. And then I prepare to think about walking towards it.
Okay. Maybe an intelligence save.
Save. That's never a good thing.
Fall out of the tap.
Oh no.
Zashi, Whistler disappears.
All right.
Whistler, you
She's like,
appear
I know.
in the center of this stack of books with this giant caterpillar wrapped around them as it's chewing on something, looking at Brutus and Storm.
I pet the caterpillar. I turn around and I say, "Don't hurt my doggy."
Doggy, Daco. It's close.
Okay, that's your caterpillar then. Storm, are you okay? What does
I do grab the book that I was in because I don't want him to eat it while Sasha's in it.
yeah,
Face a scorpion, but face a couple of books, and we're almost TPK'd.
has a lot more to do with our, I would say, average intelligence, our fighting skills.
Whistler's very intelligent, and this was all triggered by his intelligence. I don't know what you're talking about.
This
It was.
Too smart.
smart intelligence and like self-preservation and common sense.
Oh, low wisdom. Got it.
Good. Okay, so is
I'm
it
high wisdom. I'm just a bird.
I'm insatiably curious. Zashi, what are you doing?
Zashi is going to think really hard about walking out of the book.
Okay, so because you've seen this happen before, I'll have you do an intelligence save, but you have advantage on this.
Okay. $18.
18 is just enough to make it. But you do, like, it's hard to imagine yourself like being able to do that. Like, it takes a lot of imagination basically to imagine. But yes, you managed to bamf yourself out of the book.
Oh, that was weird. I think I have a little bit of a headache now. What's with the caterpillar?
I don't
Oh,
know.
my doggy.
Yeah, he keeps saying that. I'm more worried about Storm right now. His arm not doing awesome,
Oh,
Smells gross.
and I don't know how to fix that.
well, I've got a
Yes, you do.
remove curse potion on me.
Cut it off, Sheena.
Like, where's Daco? Seriously, where's Daco?
I don't know. I called for him, but he hasn't come out. So where were you guys? You just showed up out of nowhere.
Giant
We were in the
caterpillar headbutt Zashi.
Oh,
I raise up my hand 1 second and I run off to the magic section
Okay.
Okay.
with
Well-
and I start touching things in the magic section. I'm looking for books on transmutation.
Okay. You easily enough, you find a book on transmutation.
I'm
Okay.
petting the caterpillar in the meantime then, because he's fluffy and letting me.
It just headbutted Zashi in the head when she asked where Daco was.
I
How
think
about you didn't do shit when I asked?
this might be Daco. Daco was standing right next to us when Whistler touched a book and got sucked in the book, and I jumped in after him, and
He headbutts her again. And then goes back to eating books. Does he hungry?
all right. So I have a remove curse potion. I don't know what's going on with this weird rotting arm thing that Storm has, and I don't know if it would work on Daco Pillar.
I don't know. Storm just picked up that book and that happened. And without touching it, I'll poke it with my scimitar so I can read the title, but also keep it away from Daco Pillar.
The one Daco was that Daco
Getting at?
crashed
Yeah.
at, or the one that he was eating?
The one that Storm touched that was necromantic.
Oh, okay.
Pushing it further away with my sword so
So-
that Daco doesn't eat it.
You don't see a title. However, just to speed things up, when you cross-reference it, it is Secrets of Lichdom.
God.
How about everyone
Sounds
stop
awesome.
touching shit?
Yes, this is what I want.
Can I try and communicate? Can I try and communicate to Daco that if he stops eating the books, I'll give him something else yummy to eat because it's dangerous and he's being a dumbass?
Yeah, you
So
communicate
how
that to
weird
Daco.
Is Daco's ideal is knowledge is power, and he's got an intelligence of 1, and he's on a pile of knowledge.
Yeah, but I want to give you the physical power later, which you would get by eating this food.
Daco has an intelligence of 1.
I know, so it should be easy to trick you. I'm talking around you like, hey, eat this first. That's dessert, you know?
I don't know if Daco's intelligent enough to get that or not.
You can give me an intelligence check. It's a D20 minus 4 if you would like. You personally can decide, but if you're no,
He wants to be
no,
good
you
at
don't understand it.
Yep, I'm eating more books.
All right, then I'm just gonna go and try and help.
I mean, you're
Storm
still
and
eating
give
the
her
same
power.
one. Like you haven't. Like it takes you a
okay.
while to. This has been like 5 minutes.
Then I'll just keep using my scimitar and pushing everything as far away from him as I can. while
Now
he-
you're messing with his. Now you're messing with his food supply. That's
put it-
I
probably not.
already did. Huh?
He said earlier that he wrapped himself after Storm got
I
hurt.
already did.
He wrapped himself around all the books so you
I'll
can't
climb
get
over you.
through him.
I'll climb over you.
I'll just mage hand them up and
Yeah.
One at a time.
So that Storm can do it.
Giant caterpillar, not little caterpillar.
Yeah, it's still a caterpillar. And you're not smart enough to coil up around and create a dome. So I'm distracting you and Storm's getting them out.
Okay.
So what am I finding out in my transmutation book?
Um.
I'm looking. I'm skimming through it, trying to find a way to end transmutation spells.
So you're pretty sure this is a simple polymorph. It will end up by itself in an hour. Or
Or when it dies.
or when it gets reduced, it gets knocked unconscious.
So then I come back.
Punch it in the
Why do I
neck.
Hurt my doggy. I pull out
Okay.
my dagger.
You know what?
He will attempt to knock Daco Pillar unconscious.
Yeah, Brutus is sad and frustrated, so fuck it. He's gonna let this happen.
Chester, you okay with being attacked in this form?
No, Daco's never.
But is he intelligent enough to understand that he's being threatened right now?
I'm pretty sure that animals understand threats.
All
Are
right.
you sure? Because you did earlier.
Well, in that case, Zashi will wrap her arms around Daco Pillar and try to pick him up and drag him away from the.
I will say you also know that a simple dispel magic probably will stop this as well.
I'm still thinking knocking him unconscious. Take one of the really big books and just drop it on his head.
None of us. Do any of us have dispel?
I do not.
I totally have
It's not
dispel.
that kind of a party.
A remove
Yeah.
curse spell will also do so.
Does
you lose
Whistler
one
have a
of
way to let me know that a remove curse would work?
But then you'd lose Storm to Lichdom.
Yeah, if we know that the spell's gonna wear off on its own, or if he gets knocked unconscious and we don't have to waste a valuable.
is this
potion.
thing getting worse on my arm? That's what I gotta ask.
Make a medicine check.
Let's see. Probably not going to be very good at that, but nope.
Yeah, you have no idea.
Oh,
It
Can I
tingles a
try?
bit.
I'm okay with being a lich.
I got a 16. Is that enough?
On the medicine check,
Yeah.
it's slow moving, but it is necrotic. Like I don't mean the energy. I mean like the wound is festering. It is suffering necrosis right now.
I will share all of that with Sashi.
I
And Whistler,
will
obviously.
Big
hand
words.
Brutus.
Zashi's like, how do you know that word?
I read it in a book somewhere.
Zashi will hand Brutus the remove curse potion while she's still wrestling with Daco Pillar.
I'll say, I'll help you knock him out in just a second. And I'll give the potion to Storm.
I will drink it.
Okay, you drink it.
Does he have to drink it, or is it like a pour it on solve
It's
kind
a
of?
potion. It
Oh.
removes any curse he's currently afflicted with.
I'm not cursed, probably.
It's a disease.
Yeah.
It's a disease. It is not a curse.
He's got mummy rot.
All right. Well, I did what I was gonna do, so now I'm gonna try and punch Daco until he passes out.
Daco punches back.
Oh wait, is it a disease?
Yeah, it's just a disease.
Does the amulet protect me from disease?
Oh yeah,
though?
you have an amulet, so
Yeah.
Oh, so none of that even
so
happened.
well, he took the damage, but the disease doesn't take effect.
Oh,
so-
okay.
So,
So-
we'll
Yes.
retcon that. You still have a
Yeah.
potion.
By
We're gonna use the
accident.
potion.
Okay.
So how should I roll for knocking out Daco?
Wait,
Or just gonna say. Yeah.
Just going to keep on vicious mockerying him until he's. until he's
Daco holds fierce grudges. That might not be a good idea.
This is for your own good, and when you have a brain again, you'll know it.
He's going to forget it all.
you guys don't want to wait the hour.
Well,
Well,
we can. We might as well
Well, if
rest.
we get him away from the books, we
Yeah,
can.
if we can get him away from the books, that works. But he said that was the only thing that he was actually focusing on was
Yeah.
refusing to move.
Let's take him to the less dangerous book section
Yeah, well,
downstairs.
Or bring a less dangerous book to him.
Huh?
So
Yeah.
bring a less dangerous book to him.
Yeah, I'll walk to the thing and I'll bring him some books that I don't know what they are. I'm just
Okay.
bringing books that aren't.
I'm
So
gonna
an
look
hour
at the-
later, all you make short rests, including Daco.
I don't have any hit dice to use on my short rest. We're fine.
Really?
Yeah, the cranium rats almost killed Daco when we met them.
Oh, okay.
Remember, there was the whole thing that they did.
Okay, well, at least when you bamf back in this time, you will actually be stabilized and not. If you were wondering why I was trying to avoid you guys knocking him unconscious, it was because if you knocked him unconscious, he was going to immediately take a death save and start dying again.
Yeah, we don't want to kill Daco.
I'm starting to wonder.
I could just healing word him. Which-
But you bamf back and Daco immediately collapses on the ground, but he is stabilized, so he's just kind of snoring.
Pat little Daco on the head.
There.
There,
Did that
there.
wake me up? Was it hard enough to wake me up? I'm having nightmares about Whistler being eaten by a book right now.
and I do the Song of Rest too if anybody's using hit die, so an extra D6.
Okay.
Do I still have oh yeah, extra d6.
If you're taking the short rest, you comprehend languages lasts an hour?
And actually, well, it lasts 8 hours.
Yeah, it's pretty
Oh,
long.
yeah,
But
so
I
8
don't
hours.
know
No.
how.
It would
Fifth
last
edition
8 hours. It would last the full duration. So yeah, you still have comprehend languages.
Okay. Was this in the dangerous book, or was this in the quarantine? This was still just the dangerous,
Yeah,
right?
this
Yeah.
is just the dangerous section.
Uh-huh.
Okay, I gotta go to the quarantine books.
Without me? You need a translator.
I gotta comprehend languages.
Okay, I will let you know. So it's gonna be these are gonna be D100s, but the quarantine books are just kind of like miscellaneous. They don't know if they're dangerous or not, so that's why it's gonna be D100 checks.
Should someone go with him?
I can't.
Yeah,
Someone's
I'll
making
go
me
with
sleep.
him. I will go with Whistler.
Well, this is after the short rest anyway. I have to take the short rest too.
Oh, then I woke up.
No, you're at 0 HP. No one's healed you yet.
Healing word him. Let's see. What is it?
Are there any books that in the quarantine section that would look interesting to Zashi with pretty pictures or something?
Sure, give me a D100. Whistler, with that 90, you're looking around.
You get 7.
Okay, that's a pretty good roll. You manage to find another spell tome. This one is actually written in common. It seems to be from a person that's studied the lower planes quite a bit. which is why it's in the quarantine section. But there's nothing inherently dangerous. But you do, there is some like conjure fiend and the conjure demon spells are listed in here.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, it's cool.
Zashi, you find a nice, pretty picture book.
I'll start looking
you
through the
can't read.
pictures. Yeah, I'll start looking through the pictures.
Is
I'll
she in the
read over
quarantine
her
section
shoulder.
too?
Yeah, I went after Whistler. I'm not.
Is it a book about demons too?
No, this is actually a treatise on fencing practices, specifically elven fencing.
Well, Storm, since you woke me up, we could go too.
Sure, let's go. Storm is going to be not touching as many books as.
You get the sense from Zashi's book, if you were to spend basically 6 months reading this book, you would learn the dueling fighting style.
Yeah, Zashi's going to be spending some time with this book, like a lot of time.
Dako's actually going to offer Zashi the quickness of action one if she wants it as well, because that'd probably really benefit someone fencing.
Oh, thank you.
Welcome.
So good.
Well, in the grand scheme of who's going to benefit more.
Okay, so Bill is going to join you, or is waking up. I don't know if he's going to join you. There's plenty of things to eat in here, as Chester found out. Yeah. Is there anything else anyone wants to accomplish, or you wanted to call that for the day?
Still looking for my Bender books.
Okay. Yes, Bill.
I was just gonna let you know. Pretty much when I woke up, if I saw any regular magic books that stood out of the way outside of the random areas, I would let people know what's what, as well as if I saw the pile, I would let people know what color's what to figure out what books are what to make it easier for everyone on that aspect.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then, so that's pretty much just what it is for the most part. And I guess I would tell them about my dream. And I got something toward the end, but pretty much I've added something to the Malys board for everyone to check. It's pretty much Bill going and trying to talk to people in private, ask them certain questions. So I added to our documents. So when you guys get a chance, if you guys could answer it, that's fine. If you guys don't want to answer it, that's okay too. Just let me know, no comment, and then we can go from there, because that's something that Bill would ask from everybody when we had downtime in between different sessions.
Okay.
Sounds good.
There is one question I wanted to ask.
Mhm.
So, probably even on the short rest, because he does things like looking at his own spells and stuff. When he opens his own spell book, his own notebook, and he sees what he wrote, his copy of the small part of the cranium rat's spell on the wall,
Nice.
what happens? Yeah. Because I have physical notes.
Okay. Yeah. So you don't remember this, but I would ask that you please give me an intelligence save.
Yes.
Okay. And you would have had advantage on that, so 21 is the spell save DC. You do take, although this, you get this lancing pain as two separate memories start. Like, it doesn't cause you damage; it just hurts. As two separate you have two distinct sets of memories. You have the memories of what actually happened and the memories implanted from the cranium rats.
I flip my book over and I write in Elven, because I just thought dangerous
Okay.
on my own book.
Okay. Yes, Shayna?
I was just wondering if there was any chance there could be if there was a music section or something. I'm just looking for something for Jay, basically. If there's books of music or music theory or something like enchantment, evocation, something she would like.
There are definitely music theory books. There's not a lot of like sheet music. Most of the elves tend to play by ear most of the time, but there's a bunch of music theory, and various, and there's like lyrics. Like you don't see too many things like sheet music, but you definitely find like books of elven poetry.
Okay. Well, if I find anything that looks interesting, I'll grab a couple for her then.
Okay. And that should be it for today. Thank you guys. That was fun.
Thank you.
That was wild.
Yeah, that was
You like
definitely
wild,
wild.
Are we doing Everness tomorrow, or are you doing something, Scott?
I'm up for Avernus tomorrow.
Cool. Then that's the plan.
What
Did we get any XP for the?
Oh yeah, sorry. Before I forget, so
No, that was freebie.
sorry. You guys each gain 300 experience points for the scorpion.
Yay!
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.